1,000 subs! We finally did it. I cannot believe we actually hit 1,000. Thank you so much, everyone, for liking, subscribing, following the channel. And yes, as promised, you guys have been bugging me forever to do it. Today, we're finally going to take a look at the entire guitar collection that I've amassed over many, many years of hoarding and poor life decisions. All right, so before we get going, just a couple things I do want to point out. No, I am not loaded. I've been collecting guitars, obviously, for many, many years. I've got a lot of space. I usually don't let go of things, and I generally never buy anything new. Pretty much everything you're going to see today is stuff that I've picked up on the used market, usually on the cheap. A lot of the time, these things aren't even working. They need electrical work, stuff like that. So don't think I'm loaded. I'm not. I just only have one hobby. This is it, and I never let go of stuff, and I kind of hunt around for deals, probably like you. Also, this is the first time I've ever done a kind of walking tour, so this could get messy. I'll try and keep this sort of organized, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is going to be chaos. Anyway, enough talking. Let's start looking around and take a look at all the crap I've got. All right, so let's start off with the obvious piece, the wall that you guys always see behind me in the videos. So we'll start off over here. This is obviously just a Kramer Beretta Special. I bought this actually recently and just put a Floyd on it, as you guys can see. You guys might remember that from last week's video. I did post up a tutorial on how to play, I think it was Rebel Yell from Billy Idol, and I used that guitar. Plays great. Right beside it here, we've got a Jackson Soloist. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is also a lovely guitar. I picked this up many, many years ago used. Pretty nice. I like it. The reason I have that actually is because it sort of matches this thing here, which is my old Charvel Spectrum, which is a super neat old 80 shredder. Beside it here, we've got the Sun Valley Super Shredder. I've had this one for years and years and years. Really, really beautiful guitar. Nice neck, really reminiscent of a Kramer. Anyway, I'll leave some cards to anything as we go if I've got an actual video that corresponds to it. The guitar right beside it here, this is my 89 Peavey Tracer. These are killer guitars and they're still super cheap if you can find them. USA made. They come with the old school Kahler Spider Bridge, which is pretty neat. It's very much like a Floyd Rose, not at all like your traditional style Kahler, but super cool guitars. Scale length on this too is a bit shorter. It's kind of like a Gibson, which if you're kind of that kind of player, really is nice, feels comfortable. And moving along, right beside it, we've got the LTD GL200MT, which obviously is just a George Lynch kind of vibe. Well, not a vibe, it's a signature model. Another really neat kind of single pickup style shred guitar. This is a great one. I really like it. It's got kind of a neat Floyd on it. I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of a different kind of chrome finish on it. They did a run of these a few years ago. I think they're still doing them. Pretty nice trem. And I gotta say, I got a lot of Floyd Rose specials, and they seem to be holding up pretty well. I hear a lot of people complaining about their tuning stability, but for the most part, they're pretty solid. At least I haven't had too many issues. Beside that, we've got this really obnoxious guitar. This is an M-Musi Virgo Fusion. These were available on Amazon super cheap on Prime Day. I bought this, I think, back in May, inexpensively. I was kind of looking for a hollow flake telly, and this thing popped up and was not expensive at all. So I thought, well, you know what? I've always been attracted to things that look like they were sprayed by, a 1980s bass boat company. So what the heck? Let's pick that up. Anyway, a lot of people are saying these guitars are supposed to be, these fantastic things that play well above their price tag. It's a nice guitar. It plays pretty well. I wouldn't say it's worth necessarily more than the asking price, though. All right, moving over here. This guitar is absolutely epic. This might be one of the best guitars I own. This is a 1988 Lato Classic, and it's in this really awesome kind of nuclear vomit crackle color. This one I picked up this year, and just because I saw it pop up and I really wanted to get my hands on it. The construction on this is just absolutely stunning and incredible. It's neck through, three-piece, just an absolutely spectacular guitar. These are made in Canada, and actually the company that makes them is still in business, still around, still making stuff. Really, really epic guitars. If you ever get the chance to play one, definitely go for it. Don't confuse these though with the Lato Hawk series. Those ones were the import models. Not the same guitar at all, really. Probably still a nice instrument. I haven't played one of those, but these are spectacular. Awesome, awesome guitars. All right, this rack. Lots of stuff on the rack. Give me a second here. I'm going to move some stuff off this rack so you can actually look and see what I got going on here. Otherwise, this is going to be really messy. All right, let's start off right here. What we've got is a Fender USA Strat. This is the only USA Strat that I own. Well, there's another, but we'll get to that. I bought this during the pandemic. Somebody had lost their job and was just, liquidating stuff, so I got it for a pretty smoking deal. Really nice guitar, really fat neck. I think this is the Highway 1 series. A few things were changed on it. I actually haven't touched anything. I just like it because it's kind of reminiscent of some of the modified Strats that Mick Mars plays. Any of you guys that follow this channel know that I'm a huge Mick Mars fan, so you'll see a lot of guitars that are kind of nods in that direction. I think that pickguard probably used to be white because when I bought it, it's got the cream one on the back, so yeah, likely the previous owner changed it, but I honestly really, really like this look. Great guitar, and I gotta say, it's nice having something without a Floyd on occasion if I'm, playing some dad rock or need to look a little bit more responsible. Yeah, this is definitely an adult guitar. All right, and beside that is this guitar here. Now, I love this SG. This is one of my favorite guitars. This was the first Gibson I ever owned. I bought this used. I got it from a guy who had it in his basement. It didn't even have pickups in it, nothing. This is, I think, an 83. You're probably noticing that Schaller bridge on there. These came stock on these guitars for that time. The pickups I had to put in there obviously because it didn't come with any pickups. These are just 490s that I bought in this nice zebra. The color on this thing, believe it or not, used to be silver. And I've been playing the crap out of it. I've actually had to get this thing refretted, but you can see on the back I've worn through kind of this patina down to where it is silver, which is kind of cool because when I bought it, this was just totally green. Yeah, really amazing guitar. I've put so many hours in on this thing. Just a wicked awesome SG, and it's got a lot of history for me just being, my first real kind of nice guitar. So yeah, awesome, awesome guitar, that SG. Beside it's another guitar that used to be silver. This is, I think, an 85 Fender Contemporary. Again, I love Tellys with Floyds, as you probably noticed. This has got the Fender System 1 on it. Really good trims. These were made by Schaller back in the 80s. Awesome, awesome trims. You guys can probably see right beside it there, I've got another Fender Contemporary. I've actually got a really nice review up on this one, so I highly recommend you guys check that out if you want more information and specs on this particular one. For these, my big thing I want to say is just the necks on them. These Fender Contemporary necks are probably one of my absolute favorite neck profiles ever. Just extremely comfortable. Just an absolute pleasure to play. These both were silver and have kind of oxidized to this off metallic green, which I think is just really cool looking. So yeah, really, really neat. This is kind of old school, obviously with the nut, or not the nut, sorry, with the lock nut behind the regular nut. You see this a lot on 80s guitars. Honestly, I use just like graphite in here, and my tuning stability is really, really good. I can't complain at all. And you can see the back neck here is nice and fully painted. I don't know what the difference is here, but like Fender painted necks, I find don't get that kind of weird sticky thing that you get on occasion. Like a Gibson like this, I find will. I don't know if it's maybe just nitro versus this being obviously not. But yeah, really, really, really fun guitar to play. Beautiful Telecaster. And of course, kind of Mick Mars vibes, obviously, with a Tele, with a Floyd. Well, a Floyd-ish kind of, you know what I'm talking about. That one we just chatted about. Beside it, this is my other kind of American guitar, but not really as far as Fender goes. This is kind of a contemporary as well. This one I think is 88, 89-ish. You can already tell it's got the Kahler on it here, which we already saw on the Tracer that I have. Neat bridge. These stay in tune. They're really good. USA made. The deal with these guitars is they're called made in USA, but they're not really. Some of them have made in USA on the plate. Like this one I think does. Yeah, it does. But everything else I'm 100% certain was made in Japan. What I've heard is that for these particular models, what was going on was the necks and the bodies were being made and finished in Japan. They were being shipped to the US, and then the finished product with all the hardware, obviously with the USA made bridge, and I think that's a DiMarzio, which came stock in these as well. All this stuff was put in, in the US. So they could put the stamp made in US, but I think really it's probably more of an assembled in the US and still a Japanese guitar. I still consider this a Japanese guitar, but it's kind of an American guitar. Anyway, neat guitar. This one also plays beautifully. Really, really nice. I don't think I've used it in too many videos in a while, but it's just a fantastic, fantastic guitar. Anyway, I really like this one. I find it really reminiscent of Brad Gillis's Strat. If you're not familiar with Brad Gillis, definitely go check him out. He's the guitar player who filled in for Randy Rhoads after he passed away with Ozzy back in the 80s. Really good player. Really, really good player. You guys have already seen the Charvel Spectrum. This guitar here, this is a neat one. I just bought this summer. Again, I got this one for another screaming deal. This is a 1978 Goya. Obviously, it's kind of a Les Paul custom sort of thing. I just really, really like this fretboard. I mean, look at this. Wow. Gorgeous, right? Really nice inlays. These pickups aren't stock. The pickups that were in here, I still have them and I really like them, but they were ultra microphonic, I guess, just from years and years and years of use. I'm going to try and repot them. What's in here currently, these are slash pickups, Gibsons. So yeah, it sounds really good. A little bit overkill on this guitar, mind you, but really, really, really lovely little instrument there, which wasn't super duper expensive. And yeah, that concludes this stuff. You guys want to go take a look at another one of my walls? Let's go do that. All right, now we're in the back half here. What you don't see, this is the other side of the camera. Well, actually, you might have seen this before when I used to shoot videos over in this room. Behind me, you obviously see a drum kit. I'm not a drummer. I used to have a band that rehearsed down here, and the drummer just has never come for his drums. So yeah, free kit. So first thing that we've got here is this guitar, which I get a lot of comments on. This is maybe my favorite Kramer. And a lot of you are going, oh, that's a weird looking Night Swan. It's not. It's not a Night Swan. What this is a Kramer Focus 6000. It's been modified quite a bit. These are just polka dots. Like you guys have probably seen I did with that Court way back when. I'm not crazy about plain black guitars. I find them a little bit boring. So, and as you know, I like obnoxious things. So I just did my little trick there with painter's tape, got some nice high quality vinyl dots, and I've always been a big Vivian Campbell fan. So I thought, you know what the heck? Like this guitar, like the way it plays, not crazy about the paint, but painter tapes and polka dots, and yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. You can see here it's got kind of this neat bridge on it. I did a review on another one of my Kramers which has this exact bridge. This is a Floyd Rose special in kind of this burnt chrome finish they did, I think 2 or 3 years ago in a run. Anyway, I've got a couple of these, really nice bridges. This one obviously has got different pickups in it. I bought it, and it was already modified like this. Oddly enough, the guy I bought it from I don't think knew how to wire, because this is supposed to be split and it wasn't, and these were inverted. And anyway, I got that all sorted out. Plays great now, sounds great. This has been a workhorse guitar for me. I've played so many shows with it, done so many auditions and rehearsals with it. Just an excellent, excellent guitar. Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome guitar. It's not perfect either. Like, I mean, the neck's got all sorts of dings and imperfections in it, but it was like that even when I bought it. I don't know if any of them are going to pop up in the light here, but it's one of these guitars that just has a ton of mojo, and you can tell that as soon as you pick it up. I really need to get around to shooting a full review on this guitar, honestly. Just one of my absolute favorites. Right beside it, we have a Kramer Striker. This is one of the more recent iterations of the Kramer Striker. I quite like the neck on this. This is honestly a newer neck profile, I think, that Kramer's using. This is fantastic. It's not thin at all. It's fairly chunky. Beautiful, beautiful neck. Overall, this is a pretty cool guitar. I was just curious if they're worth the money. They seem to be, yeah, pretty much spot on for what you get performance-wise. I will say Floyd Rose has done some weird stuff, though. The new Floyd Rose specials are a little bit different than the old ones. You probably can't see it under here. No, it's not going to show you, but a few things have changed manufacturing-wise. I'm not exactly sure what's going on over there, but you notice the quality on Floyd Roses, I guess after 2020, I'm sorry, I should say Floyd Rose specials, seems to have decreased quite a bit. I'm not certain why. Maybe I'll do a video on that at some point, but this one does stay in tune, plays really well. That Floyd still flutters, so hey, no complaints there. All right, beside it, this obnoxious beast. I've got a review on this one. This is, of course, a Kramer Pacer in Bengal Tiger. I won't chat too much about that. I'll leave a card to the actual review on it if you're curious. Really nice guitar. Again, I got this one used, and yeah, it's obnoxious as all hell, which is exactly how I like my guitars. Now we've made it to my arts and crafts guitars. Okay, so this guitar right here, some of you guys might recognize this. This is a Telecaster, which I actually built out of parts and painted too. This was my Hydro Dip, which turned out pretty nicely. It's obviously not a Kramer. I just put that decal up there on my own because it looked funny otherwise. Yeah, it turned out really great, actually. I'll leave a card to this one. Nice playing guitar, which is kind of surprising for something that I built, but yeah. I still play this quite a bit, actually, and I really do like it. Yeah, anyway, you guys can go and check out the full video on that if you're curious. And right beside it, we have another guitar that I painted. Yeah, again, this was a Black Jackson. I'm a big Phil Collen fan as well. Always liked that Splattercaster kind of Jackson that he has, that Pro model he did a few years ago. I think it was maybe a 25th anniversary thing. I can't remember. Anyway, those are extremely expensive, so I thought, you know what? I bought this, I think, for under $200 used many, many years ago as a stage guitar. And yeah, I just wanted it to pop on stage. This paint's really neat. The green looks pretty dead, but if you get a UV light on it, it kind of glows. So yeah, really, really neat stage guitar. I've played this in so many bands. Like, geez, I played this. This was my main guitar in Waist Deep for many, many years. I played it also in Seven Snakes for quite a while. Just a really, really awesome workhorse guitar. You probably noticed this is a bit of an oddity, this pickup here. That's an Evans Eliminator 2. These are super awesome pickups. I got lucky and found this one in a guitar that I bought inexpensively, but these pickups alone, super rare, very, very valuable. and just really hard to come by, but awesome guitar. All right, the other big wall you guys probably noticed in all the videos, just in the background. All right, a couple of V's. You guys are probably quite familiar with both of these. I'm not going to talk too much about it. This is obviously an old Cort. I've got a review that I did, I think, a few months ago on this one. Highly recommend you check it out. Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious. These are just fretboard stickers, which are Space Invaders. Those of you who've already seen my other review video know I did this because, for whatever reason, up past the 12, there's no fret markers. I don't know who would design a guitar that way. Plays pretty nicely though. Beside it, we've got this guitar here, which is actually probably one of the more popular guitars on this channel. This is an AliExpress kind of Randy Rhoads knockoff guitar, but it is different because obviously Randy Rhoads never had a Floyd Rose on his actual Sandoval, so a little different. Thankfully this is unbranded. It's a guitar. I should probably do another review video on this one because it's been a couple of years since I've had it. I have done a few more upgrades since my last video, and those seem to be really popular, so food for thought. Might just do that. Anyway, right beside that, we've got this guitar here, which you guys may remember from some of the earlier videos I did on this channel. This is an old, cheap Jackson Dinky. There's a story with this one, too. I should probably do a review on it at some point. I bought this used, and really funny, I bought it kind of in one of those lobbies in an apartment building, and it was really dark and the light was out, and I probably shouldn't have purchased it. I didn't pay much for it, so I was like, whatever, but I didn't take a very good look at it because it was dark when I bought it. Anyway, I got it home, and I should say it wasn't Hollow Flash when I bought it initially. That's something I did, but I got it home. I don't know if you can see it. That's it. No, there it is. I don't know if the light's going to pick it up. Pretty nasty crack right through there. Yeah, so I got it home, and the first giveaway was this plate was flipped upside down, so I knew right away somebody had dropped it and done some pretty serious damage to the neck, or at least the neck pocket. The neck seems fine, but, oh, there we go. You can see right there, that chunk was pretty badly cracked. The crack went all the way through into this pickup cavity here. I've got it set up. It plays well now, and it's shimmed to all hell, but it's stable, and it does play just fine. I think I've actually played a show or two with it, so... The Hollow Flash, this is something I did. Again, not crazy about black guitars, just I don't find they're very exciting. This whole thing, a lot of people talk about the mystery of Hollow Flash and how do you do it. Okay, so here's a spoiler for you. To Hollow Flash a guitar is really simple. All you need is hot stamping foil. It's like the kind people use for arts and crafts. You buy that foil, and you get an iron, and you literally iron the foil onto your guitar. That's how this works. Now, it's just foil. Unless you clear coat over it, it will peel off. This one obviously is peeling off where I play it, but I'm kind of liking that aesthetic, so I'm just going to leave it this way. But yeah, really, again, an inexpensive guitar. Kind of was a bad story when I bought it, but it's turned into just a really nice, fun conversation piece. And you know what? It plays pretty well. And oddly, this trem, this is just the stock Jackson trem. It stays in tune like a champ. Like you can beat the snot out of that. Doesn't go out of tune. Fantastic guitar. Oh, this guy right here. Okay, this guitar. This is another workhorse. This guitar was my main guitar when I was playing for a Motley Crue tribute band for quite a few years. This is a Kramer Beretta 84 in Bullseye. I'm pretty sure this one might be from the Music Yo years. Just the neck on it feels different than the modern range of Kramers. I think this is probably 2014, 2015, this one. I really like it. It's a big neck though. Like if you're not used to having a kind of big baseball bat-ish neck, you're not going to like this guitar. Man, I don't know if you can see the frets on here. This thing has got like tons of fretwork. Like I play the absolute snot out of this. This has seen so many gigs, so many rehearsals. Really, really, really neat guitar. Obviously I put a D-tuner on there. Not that you need it, but especially with Motley Crue, I mean, everything is in D standard. So if you pull that out, you're really low. But anyway, it does that. I think I did this. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I split that. Maybe I didn't. I'll have to check a spec sheet. I'm not sure if they come like this stock or whether or not I did that. I have this bad habit of splitting things, so that could have been me. One cool thing I will say about this guitar is I did do this, which might seem a little goofy. That is a slide, and it's held on there with a couple magnets. You can see these are really, really strong earth magnets on the back of my tuners. And the reason for this is if you're a big Motley Crue fan, you're probably going to know that, yeah, there's a few songs where there's some slide playing, and even worse, there's some songs that have slide for most of the song and then switch. And yeah, a lot of the time I was wearing like spandex and stuff like that. You don't have pockets. You don't have anywhere to put a slide. So anyway, yeah, this was just my solution to what can I do? Where can I put a slide that it's still accessible and I can grab it while I'm playing and get it off my finger quickly when I actually need full use of my hand. And I gotta say, with the rare earth magnets, you can jump around like a maniac. That will not go anywhere. So yeah, super cool little solution. Doesn't cost anything to do if you like that. I mean, just a couple magnets off Amazon. I think it was $5 kind of fix, right? Beside it, this is my Kramer Satchel. So of course Satchel, the player from Steel Panther. This is I got a whole review on this that I highly recommend you check out, but there's a funny story. When I bought this, again, I bought it used, and this is before the pricing on them got silly. But where I lived, there was a tornado. This is many, many years ago. And I didn't know there was a tornado happening, so I'm driving to go pick this up in the middle of nowhere, because the guy that I bought it from lived in the middle of nowhere. And as I'm driving there, I'm noticing like there's trees that are, have fallen over, there's all sorts of debris in the road. I make the deal, I buy the guitar, I'm driving home, I turn on the radio, and the announcers are just losing their mind telling me that a tornado literally had just crossed right in front of where I was. So lucky it didn't hit me. This guitar obviously survived a tornado, and it makes for an interesting story. But yeah, pretty cool guitar. This one's in really great shape for the most part. The only thing about it's got a little nick. Where is it? Right there. A little nick in the fretboard. I bought it like that. Honestly, it doesn't affect anything. And yeah, really cool, interesting, fun guitar, right? All right, guys, and you probably already know what this one is. This is obviously my BC Rich Gunslinger Retro. I did a review on this fairly recently. I highly recommend you check it out. This is an okay guitar. These were like super cheap a few years ago when they were reissued. I got this one obviously used and inexpensively. It's got a few bizarre quirks to it, but I didn't pay a ton for it, so yeah, neat guitar. Yeah, and beside the Gunslinger, we have another Tiger. This one is a George Lynch Sunburst Tiger. Pretty neat guitar. I've had this one for quite a few years as well. Haven't done a review on it. Interesting tidbit, I did use this though in the very first Rapid Lick I ever shot for the channel. So it's got a piece of history specific to this channel. Beside that, this you've also seen on a few videos, some Rapid Licks, and I think some tutorials. This is a super cool guitar. This, I think, is about a 1984 Washburn Chicago Tour 24. I don't know why they call it the Tour 24. It obviously only has 21 frets. Really neat guitar. Some things have been changed on it. When I bought it, the nut was totally mangled. I had to put a new nut in there, so it's now got an R2, which is working perfectly. But it had some sort of weird trim in here that wasn't the proper trim. It was probably some weird Washburn thing. Anyway, what's in there now is a Floyd Rose 2 from the 80s. And of course I got a detune it in there, which matches the binding and just, I think it looks pretty cool. And of course some dice knobs, just because I think they look cool. These pickups actually sound really good. I don't know what they are. It's hard to find information on these guitars. They sound awesome. They do squeal a bit though. I think they're a little on the microphonic side, which is kind of killing me because it seems like a lot of these older guitars have got these pickups that sound just amazing, but you get them too close to anything and as soon as there's any feedback, they just squeal. But yeah, really neat guitar. I will say, of course, the allure on this one is probably obvious. Again, I'm a Mick Mars fanboy. This is a Tele with a Floyd. Totally my jam. Should probably get around to doing a review on this one at some point. You don't see these very often. Oh, look, you made it to the last rack. Okay, give me a second here. I'll see if I can set these up a little bit better so this moves a bit smoother. All right, and we have another Fender Strat. This one's really neat. This is a Floyd Rose Squire Series Fender Strat. So this is a Japanese one that was made in the early 90s. This is obviously not the stock pickguard. I put that on there, obviously with a kill switch and some other stuff. I think this is currently, yep, that's currently down in D standard. I must have been using it for Motley Crue stuff. And this one's really cool because it has a Floyd Rose Pro. This is the only Floyd Rose Pro equipped guitar I have. Stays in tune pretty well. When I bought this, it was just a mess. I've done quite a bit of work to get it playable. You probably can't see it, but the neck on it is just mangled. Somebody actually, I don't know if this is going to show up in the light. Yeah, you can see somebody actually was carving their initials in there and all sorts of weird stuff. So yeah, on the back there, see it says Muck. Yeah, I don't know. People do weird things with guitars, but yeah, it's a bit of a rescue. I didn't pay a lot for it. The finish on it, this is kind of a maligned finish. This is called Photo Flame, and it's just a really thin kind of photo thing they put over there. And you see a lot of these pop up used, and they all crack and peel off. You can see this one's all cracked. And it's not peeling, thankfully, but that's kind of the downside to them. And believe it or not, that used to be silver. Just like every guitar I own that was silver turns green. So yeah, another silver guitar that's gone green. But yeah, pretty neat guitar. Again, you can find these inexpensively. Japanese made. This one obviously has got quite the story to it. But yeah, cool guitar. I've used it for quite a few videos. I think just generally Motley Crue stuff because it's in D standard. All right, this guy. This is my old 80, I think this is an 86 Ibanez RG 425. This is the part of the Roadster 2 series. This is an absolutely killer guitar. I want to also point out, I think the Night Swan came out in 87. This was 86. Notice anything weird? Yeah, we've got twin bridge buckers down here, and I think that was a year before Kramer was doing it, so really, really neat. This obviously is an edge trem, really, really nice trem. I think this was the first year these started being used. This thing is amazing. It stays in tune like an absolute champ, and looks pretty stunning too. Fantastic guitar. I really need to do a review on this one. I think I've got a couple playthrough videos where I'm using this, but neat guitar. I actually recently just changed these pickups. I've got a DiMarzio Super Distortion down here on the bottom bridge, and then I've got a PAF up here on the other bridge. And these are kind of neat too. Everything is split, but it's push push. I hate push push. You never know whether you're engaged or not. You really have to listen, which is a bit of a pain. Anyway, right behind it here, you've got this beautiful metallic green RS 430 Ibanez, and this is again another one out of the Roadster 2 series. I've actually got a really nice review up on this that I did not too long ago. I'll leave a card to that. Yeah, really great guitar. The quality on these is just amazing. These old Japanese Ibanezes. One thing I will say though, these bridges, these are the old bridges they were using before they moved over to the Edge. I think they were called Pro Rockers. Anyway, these bridges, they're really well machined, but they don't like staying in tune too much. I will say that both this one and that white one, they both have tremolonos installed in the back, so they're dive only. But yeah, really, really nice guitars. Right beside it, obviously, another Roadstar series with the blade headstock. This one is, I think, my 85, yeah. And this one's got a humbucker down there. I think I've done a review on this one as well. I'll leave a link to that too if I can find it. But really lovely guitar. It's still got the same trem, same problem. So it's got a tremolo in the back there to try and fix that, which I gotta say did the job. Stays in tune really well now. But yeah, it was a bit of a pain. Oh yeah, over here. This is one of my adult Telecasters. So this is a Godin Stadium. This is a killer guitar. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have played these or not, but if you ever get the chance to play one of these, definitely go for it. Really, really nice quality instruments. The one thing that's kind of weird though is the necks on them. The necks are a bit strange. Takes a little getting used to just to bond with the profile, but when you do, just phenomenal. Yeah, and this is obviously, you know, roasted maple neck, which is just absolutely stunning. Really, really quality components on these guitars. One of my adult guitars. This is for the rare occasion that I need to, you know, play some country or do something kind of adult-like. Actually, funny, I used to play in a punk band many, many years ago, and this was my main guitar in the punk band. So it's seen a lot of playing, a lot of shows. Really, really, really nice instrument. All right, and beside it we have this guitar here. That is a Godin Freeway Floyd. I've actually got a review up on this one, so I'll leave you guys a card to that you can check out. Great guitar as well. All right, guys, give me a second here. I'm going to try and move this rack around a bit just because, yeah, this is messy. All right, I think we're mostly repositioned here. Okay, so starting off here, this is an old El Degas from the 80s. This is kind of a weird, ultra cheap off-brand that you'd see for sale. They still pop up. You see them on Reverb on occasion. Anyway, not expensive. This one I picked up literally for like nothing. It's a plywood body. The pickups that were in there were absolute garbage. The bridge that was on it was absolute garbage. Just terrible, terrible guitars. But as you might have noticed, I tend to kind of just like cheap things I can mess around with, have a little bit of a go at. So yeah, I fixed this one up a bit. Put some Wilkinson pickups in there. I changed this bridge. That's a Felior, whatever. It's a cheap Amazon Chinese bridge, but it actually sounds pretty good. And as you can probably see there, it is now split. This bridge, this is a Floyd Rose special that I pulled off that Gunslinger a few years ago. So yeah, kind of neat. You probably noticed these weird saddles. These are old Fernandez head crasher saddles. Some people call them like speed loader saddles. Turns it effectively into a single locking trem, and that it only locks up here at the nut now, but it only had a single locking trem on it when it came, and I had this in stock, so I thought, you know what the heck, let's use some parts I got kicking around. Again, I didn't pay much of anything for this guitar, so why not? I think I've got a video or two actually using this guitar on here. I'll leave a card if I do. Anyway. Oh yeah, here's one you guys probably never see. You have the one and only 7-string guitar I own. This is a Jackson JS227. I think this was a special run color just for one of the local guitar stores near where I live. But yeah, these are really inexpensive. I bought it just because I'm a huge Deftones fanboy, and on occasion I do want to play some Deftones riffs, and for that you're gonna need a 7-string. So yeah, that works. Beside it, we've got this old 1990 Yamaha RGX 211. Actually, I just did a review on that. I'll leave a card to that if you want more information. Alright, the guitar beside it, this is an old 80s Fernandez Tej. These are really, really cool guitars, made in Japan. Really nice craftsmanship. I've changed a couple things. Obviously, the bridge there is a Goto. I put that on. This actually had an old Fernandez head crasher bridge on it, which is similar to that one in that it's a non-locking one. Yeah, for the kind of playing I do, generally I need a full locking trem because I'm a bit of an idiot with the bar. So yeah, that got switched. This has active pickups. They sound pretty good, a little bit dark, but again, a really nice guitar. I really need to get around to doing a review on this one. I've done quite a few videos with it, I think. I'm pretty sure I've done at least 1 or 2 Motley Crue playthroughs using it. It's currently down in D standard. Really, really awesome guitar. All right, and beside it we have a Kramer American. No, I'm just joking. That's just a decal I put on there. This is that AliExpress Girls Mick Mars telly that I did a review on not too long ago. Same guitar. I don't think I've done anything to it since the video, with the exception of it now sports this Patrick Nagel style guitar skin. Anyway, I'll leave a card to that if you want to check it out. All right, and beside that, we've got this guy here, another Jackson Soloist. This one obviously is in a green Crackle. You probably have noticed I really, really like Crackle guitars. I remember when Jackson came out with these a few years back, I really wanted this particular guitar. So just waited patiently, eventually found a good deal used, and yeah, now I got one, which I'm super happy about. The pickups in here were changed by the previous owner. I just haven't swapped them back. These, I think they're both Artec, which is another kind of cheap Amazon brand. Gotta say they sound just fine. The previous owner was complaining that the stock Jackson ones were a bit too microphonic. I haven't put them in anything yet. He did give them to me, but I can't really confirm. But I'll be honest with you, these sound perfectly fine, so I likely will not change them. Right beside it, we have another Crackle. Some of you guys might recognize this one. This was that cheap profile guitar that I bought and fixed up. And yeah, you might be noticing something about that headstock. Huh. Yeah, I think this was made in the same factory, probably in Korea. And yeah, anyway, it's not a bad guitar now. I did quite a bit to it. This has got this trem here, this Wilkinson M Series trem. I can't find these for sale anymore for the pricing they used to be on Amazon. They used to be like $70 Canadian. Now they're selling for like 120 on eBay, which is crazy. I'm hoping that's just a supply issue. These are really good trems. I gotta say, I will definitely be buying more of these trems if I can get my hands on them. Just they perform about as well as a Floyd Rose Special, and yeah, they're less expensive, so that's always a win. But yeah, another pretty neat, cool finished, cheap guitar. I love cheap guitars that look cool, and yeah, this one is super cheap and looks really cool, so it fits both of those. Whew, you've made it this far. Good news, we're almost done. Only 3 more guitars to go. All right, guys, here are the last 3. So right here, this is an old Mexican-made Fender Strat, obviously. Just regular, nothing too special about it. It's this nice finish. I think this was called Midnight Blue or something like that. Really, really pretty finish. It kind of glows purple. Just a nice basic Strat that I got, used on the cheap side. Obviously I got donuts there. Yeah, that's one thing I am using this for. I think this has been in a few videos where I've done kind of like Yngwie Malmsteen style licks just because it kind of has that vibe for me. Whatever that vibe is, that's probably why I've got the donut strap on it. Ew, yeah, this I should probably mention. I don't know if you can see that. That is another Evans pickup. This is the second Evans Eliminator pickup that I have. This one obviously is the single coil size. Again, these are really neat pickups. Yeah, if you ever get the chance to play one of these, definitely go for it. Killer pickups. Anyway, decent Strat, plays well. I'll probably have to refret it soon, actually. It's getting to that point, but I'll deal with that later. Yeah, anyway, right beside it, this guitar. This is no stranger to the channel. This is my Kramer Focus 2000. Again, this is kind of like the Focus 6000 I have. These are both, this one and that one are both ESP made Kramers from the 80s. Really, really high quality instrument. Plays wonderfully. Actually, I've got a really nice detailed review on this one. I'll leave a link to that, or a card or whatever. Almost there, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, you spotted that one. All right, this guitar. This guitar actually I just bought like last week. Yeah, it's a PV Vandenberg. Believe it or not, I got this. There was a guy selling one just around the corner from me. He was the original owner, bought it in 1990, and yeah, was just looking to move it and move it quickly, thankfully. So go me. This one actually is a Signature 2 model. Now the thing about the Signature 2s is the way to spot them quickly is right here. See that trem? Yeah, that's a Kahler Spider. You've noticed I've got these on a few guitars. Really, really good trem, but I think the original Vandenbergs from like 87, 88 had a different Kahler model on there. But yeah, pretty cool trem. Anyway, neat guitar. I'm still kind of in the honeymoon phase with this one, so I'm playing it a lot right now. You'll probably see it in some videos. I'm going to change the electronics a little bit. I'm not super crazy about that humbucker, so that'll probably get swapped. And actually, I'm not crazy about that neck bucker either. Really underpowered for where it is. It's yeah. There's probably some changes coming, but you guys will probably see this stuff in the upcoming videos. Congratulations, you have made it to the end of the tour of my entire guitar collection. Sorry there's no prizes, but hey, thanks for sticking with me through that. Yeah, again, big thank you to all of you for watching, supporting this channel over the years. I can't believe we hit 1,000 subs. Just blows my mind that people are actually interested in this content. I hope you got a kick out of my pretty silly guitar collection. It's ever growing, ever changing. I do sell some guitars, but just not very often. That's really part of the reason why the collection is just this plain dumb at this point. But yeah, you know, I might move some in the upcoming future. There is one guitar I didn't talk about, which you probably noticed sitting back here in a case. That is my my Gibson Les Paul. I've got a whole video dedicated just to that guitar. Highly recommend you check it out if you're interested in Gibson Les Pauls. But yeah, that's there. You already know about it. There's a video for it, so you've seen them all. Anyway, again, thank you all so much for your support over the years. I never thought this channel would grow. I never thought there would really be any kind of interest like this in, you know, my guitar collection or in the Rapid Lick series or any of the reviews I've been doing. So it's just been a very humbling experience. Anyway, as per usual, people, just keep on shredding, have a great time, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.